Welcome back to CBM Calling. It is in fact Friday. It is in fact show episode number 50. And I am here with my colleagues, Jennifer Lau and Adrian Gordon, to reflect a little bit on how fast this organization has pivoted to becoming a bit of a digital broadcaster in a hurry, how we've managed to cobble together, starting like 10 weeks ago, was it? With getting our first CBM Calling out, and now here we are at episode number 50. And if you had told any of the three of us that we need to produce 50 live programs over the next, we've done almost one a day, but yeah, I think we would have just up and quit. But here we are, look, we did it. None of us would have believed that this could have actually happened. So we thought we would just take this moment. It is Friday, coming into the weekend, whatever that means for you. But thanks, guys, for being here. And we're just going to talk a little bit about some of our favorite moments and some of the favorite things that have actually happened on this show. So as we have pivoted, there's been a lot of good that's come out of these calls, for sure. That, again, the day before we started this, we would have had no idea that this would have gone off the way it did. So, Jennifer, I'm going to ask you first for what's surprised or delighted you with the way this has actually gone down.
Yeah, I think like you, I am absolutely surprised by the quality of the content that we've had on here for 50 shows. And I think in large part that's because of the people that we've had on and who've been willing to come on and do this with us. And so I just think of, there are so many examples of people that I could point to. We've had just great guests. But I really, the one that really stuck out to me was one that Terry did, where he was talking to Steve Sanderson from the British Baptists, and he was talking to Roshan from the Asia Pacific Association. And the quality of the things they were saying, they just astounded me. And I thought, wow, what a gift to be associated with people like this, who are really, they're leaders in their field, and just have such an understanding of the complexity of the global situation. And so that one for me really has stuck out.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, Adrian, I'm going to ask you the same question because you might touch on it as well, but you go ahead. What's delighted you?
Yeah, I think for me, it's been the connection with the field. So I tell people all the time that a lot of what I do in my role is connecting Canadians, churches, individuals in relationship with our partners around the world. And sometimes that's through trips, sometimes that's through church partnerships. Obviously, we're not traveling right now, but CBM Calling has been a really cool means to get firsthand direct connection with our partners. So I think of the call that I hosted with Michael Baez from Havana, Cuba. And it was a bit of an adventure to make the internet work, but to have a direct link to a pastor who's serving in the midst of lockdown in Havana. And then later on, similarly with Enrique Meson, the pastor in Sosua on the North Shore of the Dominican Republic, and to hear him share how his community's been decimated by the lack of tourists, but how the church is responding through our partnership, providing food assistance. And so continuing the link between our constituency and our partners around the world and giving them firsthand accounts from pastors serving and leading churches. That's been a highlight for me.
Yeah, in my mind, it was that when I saw a Cuba pastor on there, I was like, who else is delivering this kind of like content about what's going on in the field, and certainly from Cuba of all places. That seemed particularly outstanding to me. One of the other things for me is we've been able to do shows in both Mandarin and French. So we had partners in Quebec that were hoping to see something in French after they had seen the Quawks with John Chan in Mandarin, going, hey, could we have something in French? Absolutely. So we've managed to make a lot of content in these shows, and it's been pretty wide ranging. But the content doesn't get made, and now I'm excited because here's the thing that has really I've been chuffed with is my team, because they have literally just jumped in with both feet to try and make this happen. And I know it's a bit of a cliche because we're all dealing with the new abnormal, but we have literally been cobbling this together every single day as fast as we can. And even just before we went on air just now, John is basically losing his mind. So if I can ask if John and Kristine, if they're all, yeah, true, we have a small major technicalities. All right, so Kristine, can you wait for us?
Hi.
Kristine has been one of our producers in the back, and she is the one who is fielding the responses in Facebook and making sure the posts are getting up and doing all the social media with such great care. So thank you, Kristine, for your pivot with us in this program. It's great to have you behind the scenes. And John Williams. John, there he is, Mr. Incredible. So he has basically, you can ask John anything, and my team and anybody in the office knows. If you got a technical question, John may not know the answer, but John will email you about 20 minutes later saying, "Oh, I figured out that you could do this," or here's an application that might suit what you're after. So, John, thank you. It is not easy to try to push that button and make it go live. We have seen a number of hiccups over the past.
We have.
Number of calls, but we just wanted, certainly I wanted to express my appreciation for the two of you as part of my team. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And
Now,
Gordon, we can't forget Ruby.
Oh, no, not at all.
that's I'm sorry, because I'm not looking at my screen with Ruby on it. So Ruby is also part of our team, and she's been working on some of the graphics and some of the other pieces, but she was unavailable for today's call. So yeah, a shout out to Ruby as well. Thanks, Jen.
Yay, team.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Now, if we didn't have a celebration of some of the things that have gone sideways in this show, it wouldn't be right. We did get all dressed up for this.
Right.
So I think John has a number of clips. We've each picked something that's kind of gone sideways. Oh, actually, let me ask you, Kristine, let me ask you, what's been one thing that you've enjoyed?
I've really enjoyed being able to connect with people who are watching CBM Calling on kind of on a one-to-one basis over Facebook. And I always look forward to seeing Estella Ng in the comments.
Yes, if you watch as much as Estella does, you might become a guest, because we're hoping that Estella we can actually have on, and because her church is connected to us as well. So that is in process. So as I was going to say, we wanted to share a couple of clips of when things don't go so great. So John, I believe you and Kristine actually have the same favorite moment. So,
yes, we do. Yeah,
we
really could not stop ourselves laughing with Tanya Ewan
that we were doing at the moment, nothing that I had planned, but then it had something cool that happened, and there's more of those opportunities kind of happening because we're all here together all the time, and we just have to slow down and just make the most of those and really be listening for those. And so I'm thankful for that time, for this.
It was hilarious.
And we've talked so much about what we buy, so I think that's a good place to wrap it. She is all done. She needs to calm down.
She's like, you've been talking long enough.
Yeah.
Just give me five minutes.
Let you know when you're done, so that's okay. Thank you so much, Tanya. We so appreciate it.
Thank you, my pleasure.
What's the
I want to invite you to join us tomorrow.
Is it Jen? Never work with
Children or
animals.
Children and animals.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we haven't had animals on yet. So.
Next week.
What's a monkey?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess maybe the monkey qualifies. Yeah, maybe the monkey qualifies. Oh, very good. All right, Jen, I'm going to ask you for your, what's your pick for unscripted moment?
I think it's got to be the time Cheryl and I had a conversation. I think it was only a couple of weeks ago. And she said to me right before, my dad might come home. He's gone to the grocery store. My dad might come home in the middle of this call, but I'm hoping he'll be a little bit later. And I said, oh, don't worry about it. He'll just come on. She had a bit of a worried expression because I think she knew he wouldn't just like walk by. He would interrupt. And so he had perfect timing. Like we were in a very serious conversation about how Indigenous communities were being affected by COVID-19. And then right then he just came in and then he made a comment to her about he had gone to 2 stores and there was no smoked bacon left. And we were talking about food security right at that time. And it was just perfect timing. It was like almost like a scripted moment where it was just like the comedic, comedic relief. He just came in right at that moment. So I would say Fred, Cheryl's dad, Fred, is my favorite unscripted moment for sure.
Yes, but just before we went on the air, John said, well, we should call these the CBeMmys.
Yes.
These
Special guest
awards.
appearance.
So yeah, absolutely. Best cameo appearance. Yes. So yeah, shout out to Fred and to Cheryl.
Yes.
Okay, Adrian, I know you've got a pick as well.
Sure, yes. So I'm going to give out the best grace under pressure, or actually lack of grace under pressure. The word would be more aptly named. So early on in this CBM calling journey, way back at the beginning, we were streaming live to Facebook directly from Zoom before John, who you just met, figured out all kinds of better software to make it happen. And there were all kinds of issues. And my favorite one was when our colleague and friend Louise Hannum was on with the nachos. And I don't know if it was the internet or the link between Zoom and Facebook, but it kept cutting out. If you've followed all along, there were 2 or 3 early on that we had this issue. So I'm watching it live, and all of a sudden I hear John Williams say live through Facebook, oh, it cut out again. I'm like, no, it didn't. And then Louise completely loses her mind, throws her hands up, and does not exhibit a whole ton of grace under pressure. So that was my favorite. I'm frantically texting her, you're still live. Anyway, Louise gets that CBeMmy from me. Grace under pressure.
I'm laughing because the 3 of us, the rest of us on this call, we can't see what John is showing now on Facebook Live. So I'm actually jumping over here to watch part of that clip because I haven't seen that. Because I think John actually was very kind to Louise and he edited that out before it got reposted or got posted onto YouTube. So I can't wait to go back and watch that.
I think it was like the 3rd time it cut out and she just lost it.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm going to, because you probably had 2, and I'm going to take the other one that you could have used, which is you have been needling me on my coffee. The first time that I hosted and had Gustavo on from Collective Cup. And
you and I do this differently because I have an AeroPress.
How to show me years how to make the perfect
and I love it.
Coffee.
And somebody showed me the way you're doing it right. Somebody said, "No, that's the way you're supposed to do it." I thought that's
you have not let
you go ahead with your weirdo
that.
version.
And I want to actually, I will take full ownership because I did. But we had that 2-camera setup, and I mean, I make coffee in the morning, and morning is not my best time. So to start putting boiling hot things upside down it's not a good start. And I've used that coffee maker so many times. The seal's not great. And lastly, it was right beside my computer because I was doing this call, right? So I thought, boy, that's all I need to have happen is get sloppy with this upside down and have it destroy my equipment. So there was no way I could take that off.
Yeah, Terry Smith and I are really happy that the expert coffee roaster confirmed that we are doing it correctly and you are using your AeroPress the wrong way. But it's okay.
Well, fair enough. But I do think it's a liability for me in the morning to start making coffee upside down. So all right, I'm looking at the list. We have a couple of people that we need to say hi to. First of all, Estella Ng.
Oh, yes.
Back on again. Way to go, Stella. Thank you for being here.
I've already told you guys, when churches go back, I have to visit Estella's church because I know what church she goes to. I don't know if she wants me to say. And I'm going to go up to her and give her a big hug just for how much support she has given to us over these 50 shows. So we appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. I've had the privilege to meet her before this, and such a champion of our work in the Philippines, and has visited the work the Waddells are part of. And it's, yeah. Hi, Estella.
Yeah, excellent. Yes, she says hi to you specifically. Now, Dennis Sherman, now, I don't think this is a comment, but our colleague out in the West, our rep in the West, Dennis Sherman, is on, and he says, Adrian, I love the tie.
Well, it's an awards show.
I don't know that that's a compliment from Dennis. I've seen some of Dennis's ties. So.
Yeah, it's the first time in my life I've worn a suit jacket, shirt and tie, and track pants at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still wearing shorts. So Barb Keys is out there. Hello, Barb. And to Randy Stanton, Heather Peterson. Oh,
our president.
Yeah. Oh dear. CBM Calling has been a terrific way of connecting and educating. Thanks to all who have played a part in it. Thank you, Heather. Thanks for your encouragement. And somebody named Humberto de Lima is tuned in from Brazil.
Oh.
So once again, we have another international friend online with us. All right, so that's it for the clips. That's it for episode number 50, really, right? So Adrian, I think you are making an announcement about, what's on Monday?
I'm back Monday with Micah Knowles and Sarah Cogswell. Micah and Sarah are both pastors at the Journey Church in Moncton, and they traveled to Lebanon in 2019 as part of Praxis. Praxis is our seminary scholarship program where students study integral mission in the field. And we're going to just chat about the program and how it's impacted their ministry and focus some of their mission partnerships. So yeah, excited about that on Monday.
Yeah, right on. And Jennifer has an announcement about CBM Calling.
I do, but first I think we should address the question that came through. I don't know if you could see that or not, Gordon, which was, I think it came from Lisa Lonis, who is the Executive Director of the Atlantic Baptist Women. She asked how much funding has been, maybe it didn't come from Lisa, but it shows here how much funding has been raised from the COVID-19 emergency fund. And I think that's probably a question that a lot of people are wondering about because we featured that on Solidarity Sunday. So since that time, so I think we don't want to talk about the funding that came in before that Solidarity Sunday, but since that time, it's been about $80,000 that we've received. So, and we're hopeful that there's still more that's going to be coming in. I think our goal is probably around, I'd say, I don't know, Adrian, around 200,000 maybe. Does that seem lofty? But I think we can get there. And I think there's just been a lot of people who have just sacrificially given to that because they realize the importance of continuing to be generous even during these times. And so we want to say thank you to all those people that have been supporting that fund, and please continue to give as you can to it. We are still trying to meet needs all over the world. So we do want to say thank you.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh yes, my other announcement. So because we don't want to kill John and Kristine and Ruby, we are going to be cutting back the number of times that we're going to be broadcasting. So starting on Monday, we will be down to 3 days a week. So it'll be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Look, Estella's getting 2 days back in her week. This is also for her benefit. Yeah, so it will just be 3 days, 3 times a week next week. Yeah. Okay, very good. Well, I'm again going to just say thank you to Kristine and to John behind the scenes for all the work you're doing, and to Ruby as well. Thanks, guys. And just to let you know, if we stay with 3 days a week, we will be doing our 100th show on September 9th. All right. So thank you all. Thanks, guys. We will see you again here with CBM Calling on Monday. Bye for now.
Bye.